A meeting between officials from the US, Denmark and Greenland finishing earlier this morning without any firm resolution over that disagreement between the nations. Tensions rising following comments by President Donald Trump about the US taking control of Greenland one way or another. It's part of the Kingdom of Denmark, of course. Let's speak live now to Democrat lobbyist and CEO of political pressure group DB3, Nathan Daschle. Nathan, thanks for your time on Sky News today. We've seen this meeting end earlier this morning, our time. And has the discussion at least eased tensions, even if they've simply agreed to disagree?
No, I don't think so. I think that Denmark's reaction to this is the same, quite frankly, the same as the reaction of a lot of people in D.C., which is this whole idea is somewhat bizarre. And it's bizarre for a few reasons, and I'm not really sure where to start. It's bizarre because Denmark is a NATO ally. It's bizarre because we already have a base there and have the permission to really do whatever we want militarily. It's bizarre because President Trump is talking about using U.S. taxpayer dollars to pay the citizens of Greenland, even though this really is going to be a decision of Denmark. So I'm not sure how this gets resolved, but it's really left everyone in D.C. kind of scratching their heads.
Is it really about security?
I don't think so, because we really have all the security guarantees that we need right now. We have a base there. We could do more if we want. That's already agreed. So it might be that Greenland has some critical minerals that the United States wants. Of course, that's not, in my opinion, a justification for seizing land from a NATO ally. But it might also just be that this has kind of been in President Trump's head since his first term. And when something gets in his head, then he's committed to it. He sticks with it.
He's like a dog with a bone, isn't he? Arguably, Iran, the most pressing concern for the White House right now. Donald Trump says the regime has told him it won't stage any executions. That helps him, doesn't it? Because any military action in Iran is far more complicated than it was in Venezuela.
Absolutely. Military action in Iran is a major step forward, and it's really a major commitment of U.S. military forces. It's a major commitment of our country. One of the other differences, however, is that Iran is well known to the United States. Venezuela, less so. Most people in the United States don't really think about Venezuela. But Iran, we have, as you know, some history there, is on people's minds. And I think people would be more supportive of regime change there than elsewhere. But nobody wants to see the U.S. military make a serious commitment of forces or the U.S. to get involved in some sort of prolonged conflict.
Yeah, because President Trump was so vocal, wasn't he, about the withdrawal from Afghanistan and where that went wrong. But meanwhile, I guess where you are, many Americans more concerned with the actions currently of federal agents in major U.S. cities, a huge uproar online and on TV news. But it feels like from the outside, not as much on Capitol Hill.
Well, I think on Capitol Hill, there's people are holding back a little bit to really understand more how the investigation will play out. Of course, the investigations have been hampered because President Trump has ordered the federal authorities to not share information with local government. So it's going to be difficult to figure out exactly what happened. But, the really interesting thing about this episode is that depending on your political persuasion, we have two very different interpretations of what happened, which is bizarre because it's a factual scenario. But
this is just for our viewers. This is the Minneapolis incident where, of course, we saw the mum of one get shot through her car screen window by an ICE agent.
Yes, that's right. And I apologize, I should have said that earlier. But Democrats and people on the left, they see it as murder. And that's the language a lot of people are using. On the right, they see it as justified. And it's just two different factual interpretations of what happened. People have different ideas of when the officer drew his gun. So I don't know how this gets resolved, but I can tell you that Democrats do feel a little bit in a bind because years ago, you might remember there was a big push on the left to defund the police. And that really came back to bite the Democrats. Democrats now look back on that and think that was the left taking them to a place that's a little bit crazy. And they don't want to go back to that. So there's some hesitation about being too critical of ICE and not blaming the entire organization when this is really the actions of a few. But that's tough to articulate when you're a political party.
Yeah, and it makes some of the protesters, I guess, feel politically homeless right now. It's fascinating times. I wish we had more time, Nathan. Maybe we can get you back to have more of a chat in the future. This is not going away for sure. Appreciate your time today.